Alright, everybody here? We're still missing two. Yeah. What? Who? Skullroc and Antasma. Yeah.
They should be here soon.
Yep. Okay then. Also, Dark Slime, where have you been? I was on a long holiday. Huh, that makes sense. Okay. Sorry, we were just hanging out with our crewmates. Since, oh yeah, you built that team. Yeah, we're still finding out who the hell made that new rules. Someone made Red do that. Wait, what? Well, forgot about that after whatever we're watching. Alright, we're gonna watch 4th SUNDOR POKEDEX and an upbeat look at an Australian Pokemon by Fear 4, whatever the hell that is. Who the hell is Fear 4? I don't know. Anyway, let's just get this started. Yeah, I'm getting bored. Okay.
Introducing the SUNDOR region, a Pokemon Fakemon region based in Australia. Now this region is created by SUNDOR Fakemon and I've linked their Instagram in the description. Now let's get into
Fakemon.
Rugby, grass type. Rugby are known as some of the most determined...
Not even 5 seconds and we're waiting on these people's characters.
I'm training to improve their skills.
Totally.
Rugby players and kangaroos. Kangravine, grass and fighting type. This Pokemon is known for creating a game played all over SUNDOR. Anyone can play it, but these Pokemon are the best. Trunkscrum, grass and fighting type. Trunkscrum train their entire lives to become ultimate athletes. They practice by pummeling trees into rugby balls. Mbala, fire type.
I love that name, Mbala.
Yet lazy Pokemon. They eat all sorts of food
I love that
every
name.
day so they can improve their defenses.
Yeah.
Koalas and overeating. Koa-Boom, fire and poison type. Due to the large amount of poisonous eucalyptus this Pokemon eats, it creates an explosive reaction in its stomach, also inspired by eucalyptus. Explosion, fire and poison type. This gentle giant can become quite ferocious if its food or
So it's Plow.
The food it eats
2.0.
causes an explosive reaction, also inspired by explosions. Dolphin, water type. Dolphins spend most of their time looking at their reflections in the water. They are very proud Pokemon that sometimes have a hard time listening to their trainer. Inspired by dolphins, coral, and royalty. Paw Prints, water and rock type. This Pokemon can be likened to a spoiled teenager. They are awkward Pokemon who get angry if they don't get what they want. Also inspired by...
Oh, so this is like,
Royal, water and rock
these
type.
Pokemon are inspired.
The ruler of the sea.
The
They're
real
very
life
haughty and
things,
will
like
only
the
listen to
dolphins
trainers
and
they have a
whatever
strong
that
bond
is.
with. Rollworm, bug type. Rollworm have an affinity for causing big fights, often getting into trouble with Pokemon much bigger than them. Inspired by the Hercules Moth Caterpillar. Strap-on, bug type. When a Rollworm evolves, it goes into its cocoon so it may meditate and increase its defenses. Inspired by the Hercules Moth Caterpillar.
So Burmy 2.0? Probably.
Moth, bug and fighting type. When Soul Moth emerge from their cocoon, they are extremely aggressive until they are able to win 100 battles.
Oh hey look, Mothim's Slumlum sibling. We should tell him.
Normal and flying type. Due to the wide range of food that Kuuklat eat, there are 4 distinct subspecies that can be found in SUNDOR. Bitter, spicy, refreshed, and zesty diet type. Inspired by kookaburras, their colours, and their diets. Pompabear, normal and flying type. When a Kuuklat evolves into a Pompabear, it feels entitled to hoard as much food as it can for its evolution. Gurabara, normal and flying type. Gurabara are known as some of the most ferocious Pokemon in SUNDOR, doing whatever...
That's gotta be a hard name to pronounce, Kurabara.
Normal type.
Oh wait, actually never mind.
Playful Pokemon that are found all
Okay.
over SUNDOR. They are often typed...
Aw, it's cute. Yeah.
Rock'n'Roll, normal and rock type. Rock'n'Roll are extremely loud Pokemon, but are very musically talented. They can be...
So, Loudred.
around. Inspired by Wombat,
And it's Plow.
AC/DC, and Rock'n'Roll.
Again.
Sugalary, fairy and flying type. Sugalary live in the woods.
Sugalary.
Towns. They often help...
Emoga Slumlum sibling.
Based on sugar gliders
Yeah.
and sweet and sour motif.
I mean, she looks like Emoga.
Fairy and flying type.
True.
Impungent are huge tricksters that will wait for unsuspecting travelers so that they can steal their berries and food. Also inspired by pixies.
How the hell we didn't still have an Emoga
After being introduced to the SUNDOR region,
evolution? I have
due to
no
the lack of
idea.
Water and the arid environment. Inspired by mice, dehydration, and starvation.
Another Rattata?
Raticate grounds in normal type. Raticate become increasingly hostile the longer they go without water. Inspired by kangaroo rats.
Another form of
and
rat-a-tat.
Kindlet, fire type. Kindlet are often found.
Kimlet, I love that name.
They spend their time in solitude hunting.
Coughing, what the hell? Air games.
Python, fire type. Python are one of the.
Python, I love that name.
It takes a well-trained Pokemon to defeat one.
I was gonna say he look. Why is he look? I was gonna say he looks like artwork, but never mind.
Pokemon that often live by themselves. They use their spines as defense mechanisms against other Pokemon. Inspired by echidnas and Pika clones. Ferritin, dark type. Ferritin live in the streets of Sundor's big city.
Ferritin, ooh,
Trouble and take care of
sweet.
Inspired by feral cats.
Litten. Yeah.
Prowl at night to find unsuspecting.
Oh my god, why is this reminds me of pure ugly? Hey.
Inspired by feral cats.
It's because of the face?
Nightcry.
Yeah, totally.
Mono, poison and dragon type.
Ew, what the
Mono
hell
uses
is this
long
thing?
tongues as whips to spread a poison. This poison is highly toxic
Pimodo?
and secure. Inspired by pygmy goannas and Australian stock whips.
Okay, this is more cute than the. Oh god, what is that ugly
Most of
thing?
their time boasting their power. They are some of the most powerful Pokemon in the desert. Inspired by gargantuan goannas and Australian
Garguana.
stock whips. Wactus, grass and fighting type. Wactus are extremely simple Pokemon. They are trained by older Suguase in
Hey,
martial arts schools.
Hey, look, Captor's brother.
Suguase, grass and fighting type. This Pokemon is extremely dedicated to its fighting style, despite its harsh appearance, and loves teaching others its moves.
Captain and
Poison type.
Captain, I'm gonna love that.
Island. They have since become an invasive species in Sundor, inspired by
The hell
disease
is that
platypus in
thing?
Tasmania.
I don't know.
Pestapucks, water and poison type. Pestapucks are very loving Pokemon. Despite
What
being
is
very
that?
sickly,
What
they
the
use
hell
their
is
powers
this
to heal
thing?
any Pokemon that they can. Spydree.
Why did that thing look like a
This Pokemon
bird?
is quite popular
I don't
among
know.
bug collectors in Sundor. Inspired by redback spiders and webs. Tarantula, bug and flying type. Tarantula are avid flyers. They use the webbing on their backs and the wind to fly all over Sundor.
So like they're like
Spiders using their webs to- Yeah. Tarantula evolves from Spydree.
Piranha-bombs, precisely.
Bug and dark type. Spydree are extremely malicious Pokemon. They only come out at night to prey on unsuspecting Pokemon. Inspired by redback spiders, Spydree evolves from Spydree during the night. Sundorian Ekans, Ice type. Due to the large competition with other snake-like Pokemon in Sundor.
Oh, so this is the end. Oh, so this is the end for
Inspired by snakes and the
Egams.
cold. Sundorian Arbok, Ice type. Arbok and Sundor are in a sleep-like state
Sundor
for most
are
of their lives.
really an
If
art.
meets Arbok's gaze,
I think
they get frozen
are these
immediately.
artworks cute?
Venopan, poison and ground type. Venopan are known to live on their own in the deserts of
Venopan.
Sundor. Unless they're
Can I,
provoked,
like,
they do
Venope?
not meddle with others. Inspired by
Could they be
type animals
related?
of the desert.
Probably.
Carachel, water and grass type. This Pokemon lives primarily in the ocean surrounding Sundor.
This one looks like a Hugan and a Krabby.
Inspired by crabs and the Great Barrier Reef.
True.
Scrabblers, water
No,
and
they
grass
no.
Scrabblers loves to swim
Actually, this one looks like a Kingler.
Fish Pokemon like to
Oh.
make Scrabblers back their home. Crustacean, water and grass.
Or maybe this
Crustacean
one.
becomes living ecosystems for Pokemon on the ocean floor. They
Hey, look, it's real life Mr. Krabs.
Tangler, poison type.
Oh god, this seems creepy.
It likes to poison any beachgoers that happen to walk near it. Inspired by
The normal Tangela never had a mouth.
Tangrel, poison type. Tangrel are extremely mischievous.
Yeah, I
Pokemon
needed a
that often harass
Tangrel.
people and other Pokemon alike. Budao, ghost type. Budao are the souls of past.
What is that? Why is it that?
They always return to their
He has the eyes of Lunatone.
Boomerangs and spirits. Reverang, ghost and steel type. This Pokemon
Oh come on!
tends to find a worthy
Stupid
trainer or
ad.
Pokemon to call as combatant. Sundorian Woobat, grass and flying type. Woobat are extremely sweet Pokemon. Usually and rarely
Orange
live in
bull
the
bat.
forests of Sundor. Inspired by a literal fruit bat. Sundorian Swoobat, grass and flying type.
Orange
During
Swoobat.
the day. At night, they swarm the skies looking for berries to nibble on. Hebler.
Bruh.
type. This Pokemon loves to dig around in the desert. It will often find items and bring them to people and Pokemon alike. Inspired by a dingo. X-Canine, ground and normal type.
They look like Nucleus.
Has taken its passion for digging to the next
And
level. It's very loyal
yeah,
to
well maybe the
explorations.
first one, not this one.
Inspired by
Yeah.
Dingo and Excavators.
Dingodile?
Ground and normal type. This Pokemon is one of the fastest in Sundor. It uses its extreme speed to excavate entire sites on its own. Sundorian Lickitung, fighting type. No one is sure how Lickitung were introduced to Sundor. Soon after, they began aggressively competing for resources. Inspired by smooth newts, which
Okay, so we have another
environment.
new form,
Sundorian
Lickitung.
Licky, fighting type. When it adapted to the
But it's
climate,
fake mon.
Licky became an invasive
Oh
species in Sundor.
yeah.
It threatens people and Pokemon alike. Inspired by brawlers and smooth newts. Shocker, electric type.
You think this is gonna be a form of Lightning Rock? I don't know.
Inspired by camels and dry lightning.
Only one way to find out. I'd probably say not really.
Very powerful Pokemon, both on and off the field. They are used to power entire camps in the wild area. Also inspired by generators.
Aren't you a fake mon, Skullroc?
Sigmas was once an extremely but some ecological
I think
disasters
so.
look this way. Inspired by signets and oil spills. Swagoos, dark and flying type.
I mean, there's me, Blood Rock, Shiny Rock, Shiny Rock, Yellow Rock, Red Rock, Green Rock, Blue Rock, Lunar, Solar, Shadow Rock, Darken Rock, Eclipse, like Rock, I think I'm missing someone.
Nibleaf, rock and grass type. This Pokemon lives in lush forests and fields. They were extremely peaceful Pokemon.
Oh, something Rock and Loves Rock.
Inspired by Atlas Copacasaurus
And Weekend Rock and Weekday Rock. Yeah, I knew I was missing somebody.
For their impressive speed on foot. When they're not eating, they often race for fun. Inspired by Atlas Copacasaurus, Matsubarosaurus, herbivores, and vines. Cassowary, normal type. This interesting Pokemon is the topic of research studies all over Sundor. Its change of attitude has never been seen before. Inspired by cassowaries and the fight or flight response.
Warriwood?
Dragon and ground type. This Pokemon loves to lounge around in the desert.
Who is that thing?
Hides or runs away. Inspired by thorny devils and a little.
That looks like a lizard from desert.
This Pokemon is the most common prey of the Imbala line. The leaves on the Pokemon's body are poisonous when eaten. Inspired by emus and eucalyptus.
Should have been inspired by a flamingo. It looked the donkey from Shrek.
They're too weak to do any jobs. Inspired by feral donkeys in the desert. Boroferno, fire and ground type. This Pokemon has become a pest and a nuisance to the region. Their mean nature scares almost every trainer away. Sundorian Chatot, poison and flying type. These Pokemon have changed with the rise of urban development in the region. They've resorted to eating trash for food.
Wait, that's Chatot? That doesn't look. That looks different than Chatot. Why did they call it?
This Pokemon is well known for two things.
What in the hell is that thing?
And its deep-rooted rivalry with All Gramble. Inspired by the legend of the lizard man Beria.
Okay, what was that Gramble?
Fighting style Corrida.
Probably another former.
Snubble, fairy type. This Pokemon is on the losing side.
Oh, I think it's
with Lazuna. Its body is covered in bruises.
the Sundor Gramble that we're gonna see in a few minutes. I mean, a few seconds.
Also get ill eating lizards. Sundorian Gramble.
See? Oh.
The deep bruises on this Pokemon have become sturdy muscles. This Pokemon is now quite strong and defensive. Torpup, water and steel type. This Pokemon is one of the.
Why is that thing looks like Torpedo?
Waters. Inspired by torpedoes and baby sharks. Celacrine, water and steel type.
Torpedo's brother? Probably.
Travel through strong currents with ease. Inspired by sharks and submarines. Submeladon, water and steel type.
Oh my god, that is. Okay, that is cool. Well, we all know what to get first. Hell yeah.
Play with children outside in the snow. They are one of the most popular pets in Sundor. Inspired by huskies, St. Bernards, and avalanche rescues. Blitzkey.
Probably gotta search after this watch party episode.
They help find people who get lost in the snow. Evolves from Snuppy with high friendship. Mongrice, ice and dark type. Snuppy evolve into Mongrice when they've been abandoned or mistreated by their trainer. Their anger knows no bounds. Inspired by huskies, wolves, and
not the first time anyway.
True. Friendship. Sundorian Shieldon, dragon and steel type. There were so many revived Shieldon in Sundor that they were reintroduced to the wild.
What is that? That looks like a kangaroo dinosaur. I have no idea what the theme is. But speaking about that, I think that was a dinosaur. Speaking about dinosaurs, we have more.
Inspired by the Australian Midme and Ceratopsian dinosaurs. Rumblroo, dark and ground type. Rumblroo are quite rowdy Pokemon that love to
by a kangaroo and wrestle human people.
And boxers. Marsuplex, dark and ground type. This Pokemon craves attention, so they resort to fighting dirty and putting on elaborate shows. Digged, rock and ground type. This Pokemon is most often found looking for ores in the mines near Port Muddia. Inspired by Golons, miners, and the Australian Gold Rush. Magold, rock and steel type. This Pokemon has made a fortune mining for gold, but it doesn't share the wealth with anyone.
Fortune money?
Inspired by golems, gold miners, rich people, and greedy people. Toxifry, poison type. Toxifry live in large groups under the sea. They rarely come above the waves due to their timid natures. Inspired by blue-lined octopus and their poison that can paralyze people. Electring, poison that...
That's a blue like octopus.
upon evolution.
Octopus.
That's nothing like a blue one. That's like a purple.
Corisopod, poison at electric type. Corisopod are known to have such strong poison that it paralyzes its opponents with just one drop. Rotom drill, electric and ground type. Rotom assumes this form when it takes over a drill powered by a special motor.
We never have this one before. Yeah, never.
Electric energy and poltergeist.
Why did they didn't make this official?
I don't know.
Rotom assumes this form when it takes over a modem.
Like Nintendo wants to be idiots. And to this they're idiots.
Tell me, yeah, totally.
In Sundor, Helioptile lose their frills due to the sheer amount of sun in the desert.
Ooh, Helioptile.
Through their whole body. Inspired by lizards in the desert and the spotted salamander. Sundorian Heliolisk fire a normal type.
And there's Heliolisk.
Passion for energy. So much so that they spend all of
My girls are ugly lizards.
Sundorian Meowth, psychic type.
Meowth?
Uses its psychic powers to float its precious coin above its head.
That looks like a girl.
If the coin ever
Maybe
touches
when we
the
get her,
ground,
might be a girl.
inspired by cats, telepathy,
Maybe
and
get
fortune
expression snaps.
Persona, psychic type. These friendly
What the fuck?
psychic readings to people and Pokemon. Spiritina, ghost type. This Pokemon talks about the lost souls of opera singers.
What?
Found singing solemn songs. Inspired by ghosts, opera singers, composers, and the Phantom of the Opera. Spectezo, ghost and fairy type. This Pokemon's love for the opera has become an obsession. It likes to control.
You cannot be serious.
Fantistro, ghost and fairy type. Fantistro are extremely powerful Pokemon.
Persona?
Operas by themselves. Sundorian Mantike, electric and water type. This Pokemon is a nuisance to the fishermen in Sundor. If they get caught in the nets, the fishermen will get electrocuted. Inspired by stingrays and thunderstorms. Sundorian Mantine, electric and water type. This Pokemon is seen as a bad omen by sailors leaving port.
That's a badass Mantine.
Duo, psychic and flying type. Due to the harsh environment, Jojo
Let me guess, we're gonna have a Sundor Dodrio.
Probably not like what happened to Meowth.
and telepathy. Sundorian Dodrio.
I knew it!
Psychic and flying type. Dodrio's immense psychic power.
Wait, this one is a psychic? What? What?
To those of Golducks. Sundorian Onyx, rock and dark type. Due to the different rocks it digests now, this Onyx is now faster and more defensive. Inspired by the Kalkajaka Black Mountain.
He really is that fast.
Steelix, steel and dark type. Due to the strange black rocks it eats, Steelix is a lot less sturdy than its Johto counterpart. However, it's more aggressive. Jellicool, water and ice type. This Pokemon is found deep in the sea where its cold and cruel nature pairs well with the freezing waters. Inspired by crown jellyfish and royalty. Tundreagle, water and ice type. This Pokemon has an air of arrogance about it. It regularly gets into feuds with paw prints over their nobility. Sundorian Stadler, ice and rock type. This Pokemon traverses the craggy cliffs of the snowy mountains in Sundor. They are very territorial.
Okay.
Inspired by reindeer that live on snowy mountains. Hopple, normal type. This Pokemon is found in great abundance all over
Interesting.
Sundor. Some consider it to be a nuisance. Inspired by invasive rabbit overpopulation in Australia. Rabroot, normal and fighting type. This hulking beast is quite dangerous. This Pokemon is the result of a large group of frenzied Hopple.
Why does that they look like a horror monster? I don't know.
Trick people and steal from their camps in the wild area. Inspired by Tasmanian devils and bush rangers / bears.
That looks like a Humdor.
Devorado, dark type. Devorado are famous
Yeah, well,
for their speed. They often
that one looks like a criminal.
also inspired by prisoners. Sundorian Purloin, ghost type. This
Purloin too?
graveyards of Sundor. They love to spook people at night. Inspired by phantom cats, which are a myth in Australia. Sundorian Lipard, ghost type.
And
The
Liper.
Sundor region have become vengeful spirits who take revenge on people who mistreat their Pokemon. Kudzug, grass type. This interesting Pokemon is one of the rarest species in Sundor. It is only found along one route, although no one knows why. Inspired by Kudzu and slugs. Invadush, grass and psychic type. This Pokemon has become incredibly territorial of its home. Inspired by Kudzu, slugs, and aliens in the Bass Strait Triangle.
Aliens.
Grass and psychic type. This Pokemon
Okay,
is
now
invade
that looks.
territory.
Okay, now that one looks like an alien,
Space.
not the other
Inspired
two.
by flying saucers. Glixie, bug and fairy type. This Pokemon is loved in all of Sundor. They are a common.
That looks like a late. That looks like a baby Lindia.
Inspired by fireflies.
Wait, what am I saying? Lindia. Lindian.
Light, bug and fairy type. These peaceful Pokemon.
Why did you say Lindia? That's from Kirby.
Homes during the night.
I don't know.
Inspired by fairies, fireflies, Min lights, and guiding lights. Sundorian Squirvet, ice type. Due to living in the cold and icy mountain climate, Squirvet work hard to hoard any sort of heat that they can. Inspired by Arctic ground squirrels. Warden, ice and fire type. This Pokemon works with Blitzkey and the Pokemon explorers to find people lost on the slopes of Sundor's icy mountains. Inspired by the Arctic ground squirrel, Arctic rescue, and internal heat. Vegetot, grass type. This mischievous Pokemon loves to create problems for people and
Vegeta.
it drives people away.
Vegeta. More like Vegeta.
Kids. Vegemite,
Yeah,
grass
and
dark
Vegeta's
type.
not here.
Vegemite are extremely vengeful Pokemon. They take out their anger on everyone who calls them disgusting. Inspired by Vegemite, sludge monsters, and revenge. Sundorian Bidgew, poison type. Sundor's harsh environment has caused Bidgew to become more toxic. It is sad because it thinks trainers are ignoring it. Inspired by Oleander and Buds. Sundorian Roselia, poison and fairy type. This Pokemon has come to terms with its limits.
So we have Roselia, but
Power. Trainers
what I think Snap just Rose Ray.
Inspired by bushes. Olead, poison and fairy type.
Never mind.
Incredibly faithful Pokemon. They use their poisonous bouquets to protect their trainers in any way they can. Also inspired by brides. Hatchling, water type. Hatchling use their tail to shoot water at foes and to swim faster underwater. Inspired by
Claptrap?
and water guns. Dragon
Related to him?
Dragon type. These Pokemon store
Or Saladin, or Saladin, Krokorok, and Crocodile. Probably.
Crocqua, water and dragon type. This massive Pokemon's cannon is so powerful that it can cut through anything in its path.
Nah, he's not the only one who has a blast. There's a cannon attack. Blastoise has one, and etc.
Blaze, fire type. This Pokemon is not very popular due to its fondness for causing trouble. They enjoy tricking others and running away. Inspired by Beelzebufos and the Yaramayahu. Brimtoad, fire and rock type. These Pokemon have become particularly malicious towards Pokemon. Their tricks usually end up hurting others. Beelzebub, fire and rock type. Beelzebub is seen as a monster to most people. It is rumored that it eats entire Pokemon whole. Also inspired by Beelzebub, the Lord of the Flies. Regiseer, psychic type. There are theories that before a human or Pokemon is born,
Reggie what now?
has kept
Reggie
its
Seer?
soul and determines its life story. The inspiration for this is that since the Reggies represent an age for humans, Sundor's Reggies represent a spiritual age.
Is this the first ever fan-made Reggie? I have no idea.
Reggie Ghoul, ghost type. It is believed that after a person
Reggie
passes,
Gold.
Reggie Ghoul takes their
I
souls to
think
the afterlife.
Pokemon Sundor
Lost souls become
region
Pokemon. Inspired
has to
by
be the
the time
first ever Fake that has fake fan-made Reggies.
Normal and ghost type. This vengeful Pokemon was the last
Oh, that game's so cool.
mistreated by humans. Inspired by the Thylacine being in captivity and going extinct. Ugardon, grass and rock type. This isolated Pokemon...
The hell is that Bigfoot?
It wants to preserve all life, but especially its home, Boogie Forest. Inspired by the Yowie and rock statues...
Why is that thing looks like a Bigfoot?
Loa, fairy and water type. This Pokemon is said to have used its legendary...
Why the hell does this thing has a Deadpool mask? I don't know.
Inspired by the Rainbow Serpent. If you enjoyed this full Pokedex video, you might like the full Pokedex video on the Minecraft region.
Okay. Gotta say, I really love that. Yeah, same here. Totally. Yep. Big time. Yep. Indeed. Yep. Well, I'm gonna go take a shower. Yeah, me too. I'm gonna go relax. Gonna go eat. I'm gonna go see what we have. Same. Yep. Let's go.